Hello everybody, I am hopping on for our, as we're calling it, Scrappy Camp Tour, as we do our winter Scrappy Camp this year. I am just checking to see that I made it. It looks like I did, yay! If you're on, go ahead and say hello, but I know a lot of you guys do the replay. Let's see, perfect. Alright, so today we are working on this lovely little carnival looking layout, and I'm actually going to make mine very similar to this one, except I'm going to leave my photos a little bigger. I think we're going to see what happens. So we're going to walk through this one. They took a lot to fit on here, so there's many details about how to build our little, carnival booth. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. You guys can comment as I go. I am watching it. If you're watching the live, I am watching the comments stream. If you are watching it later or on YouTube, go ahead and send a comment that way too, and I'll see it eventually and hopefully get back to you with any questions. So this is taken from the Creative Memories blog. It was from February of last year, so February 21st, 2024. So if you want to go back and refer to that one too, you can. So and my whole family's home today, so if you hear some ruckus, that's what's going on. My husband just happened to be off today, and we had a surprise snow day. So if you hear a little bit going on, it's just them. Don't worry. Or a beagle yapping, So today you'll need your circle cutter. This is the largest one. And when they do say large, the largest circle, they are referring to the larger circle in the trio, not, let's see if I can find it here. Not the jumbo. If they say jumbo, they mean this one. This one's your largest though. And that's because it's part of this set right here. And as you can see, it's the largest one in this trio of circles. So they sell these as a set. The jumbo is sold separately, so thus it's the largest. And we'll also need our red and green blades. If you're using a circle cutter, you can use that as well. I would need to see what sizes that would be. And to do that, sorry, I didn't come very prepared. You have your little sheet. I'm trying to find it. I have all the other ones right here, but the circle one's the one I use the most. So of course, that one's the one that's not in my pile here. Where is it? That's interesting. Choo-choo. Where did you go? That's interesting. I'm not sure where it went right now, but you have a sheet like this. This is my oval one, but you have one like this that'll tell you the different sizes. So I'm going to just tell you guys, but I don't know where my circle one went right now. And then you can compare that with, your circle cutter to set it with. So you just look at your largest circle and then compare it. So that's all you'd have to do there if you would rather use your circle cutter. I have to find my circle one. I don't know what happened to it. So you're going to need those or a circle cutter. I am going to use the ticket border punch as well to create this. Like I said, I'm going to stick pretty close to the original. Not exactly, but pretty close, because I am working on Disney. And the Adventure Park collection is like perfect for Disney. So I think it wasn't like, they can't technically say it is Disney because it's, not, but the colors go perfectly. So it can be for any carnival, any fair, whatever. So I'm going to use that today to kind of document some of our Magic Kingdom time. And I got my sheets here picked out. You're going to need a piece of black if you want to do these black rings around your little carnival booth roofs as well. So, and for my base, I am going to use the Adventure Park's Fast to Fab page. So that's kind of what they did here. That's what this border is down here. It's one of the Fast to Fab pages. So that's what I'm going to do too. It'll just simplify a lot. And I'm always looking for good use for these Fast to Fab papers. So I'm excited to use those. So this will be my base. And then I just have various Adventure Park papers to use. I believe this one, this is the back of another Fast to Fab. I'm just using the other side for the red. So I've used up a lot of my Adventure Park collection, obviously, because I'm working on Disney. So I kind of scraped to get these ones. So we're going to use all those. Here's our base. All right, so what we're going to do is just follow right along with our instructions here. It says use the Burst Stars Fast to Fab inspired designer paper, and that's what they're using as their base. We're using a different one, but again, same pack. And then you're gonna make the following segments. So here it kind of lists, and this is all on the blog, I just narrowed it down to what you need. It lists each element to our little booth here. So for the roof, we're gonna use the outside edge of our largest circle custom cutting pattern with the green blade. And we're just gonna take this step by step. We're gonna need a piece of black. We're gonna be making this big ring here underneath our largest one. You're gonna take that, and we're gonna take our green and cut a circle from a piece of black, using the outside edge, right? Yes, outside edge. So what I like to do to save paper is I try to squish this up as close to the edge and corner if I can, and you can test it with your blade. You're gonna see the top of my head here, I apologize. And it looks like it's gonna run off a little bit there, so I kind of pull it back. You just want to make sure you're gonna be on all sides. Looks like I'm good there. Looks like I'm good there. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold it down with one hand. You want to make sure your little prongs are both in the little track, because if it's not, it's gonna rip your paper. And the new blades, I'll show you in this one, so I have to move it again. If you have older blades, the new ones are a great investment, one, because you'll have new blades that cut nice, and two, these swivel now. So if you guys use older CM, these did not swivel, meaning you had to like twist your hand kind of funny to keep it from kind of catching. So I love the newer ones. So definitely, if you haven't bought new blades in the last, oh gosh, 8 to 10 years, I say get new ones, because one, you need them, and two, these are really nice improvements. So it's gonna hold down firmly. I know a lot of people have trouble with this, but just take your time, and you're gonna get a good, strong hold down. So I go over it a couple times, and in my test, I'll pull my blade up. I won't move my circle yet, and I will kind of move my outside paper, and if it moves freely, you're good. So you know you cut your circle successfully. So there you go. There's our first circle that we're going to use. All right. So if we keep continuing on here, we're going to use the outside edge of our largest circle now in the red blade to cut one from the polka dots, which is their largest inner circle here. So I'm actually going to use this red polka dot. It's a little different. I had used up all my other one, but I wanted the same color scheme. I'm going to set my black aside because we're going to come back to that. And I'm going to kind of look on the other side. I might use this border at some point for a different layout, so I'm going to kind of strategically cut this side, maybe up in this corner again, just so I can use it again in the future. So we're going to take this kind of the same idea, except we're going to use our red blade. And these are different sizes. I did number mine with a Sharpie, so I knew 1 is the smallest, 2 is medium, and 3 is the largest. Or if you're in the inside, it'd be the smallest. So they work their way out from, you know, and 1's the closest to the track. So if I'm using 1 on the inside, it's going to be the largest inside, right? So it's a little getting used to, but it's a nifty trick that helps me a lot. Usually I just go by the color. It's a lot easier. So just double checking. Using the outside edge of our largest circle and the red blade. We're going to cut from the red. Okay. And I tried to keep the paper colors pretty similar just because I knew that would help keep any confusion at bay as well. So just making sure I'm on my paper. Looks like I'll be good. This one's going to be easier because it's just a piece of paper. You don't have to push as hard. You still want to give it a good, strong push just to keep it from sliding and to cut all the way through. Again, I'm going to move my blade. I'm going to move my outside page. Looks like we're good. So we're good. There's our next one. I'm not going to get in the habit of closing my blades when I'm done because I've cut myself so many times forgetting they're open because I run into them. All right, so I think we're done with our red for now. We're going to go back to our black. We're going to go here. It says you can adhere this to the middle. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just trying to keep following my instructions here. I will jump around quite a bit when I'm working, just because I like this blue side too, but the red is very nice. So you're going to just kind of adhere this on here. like so. All right, we got our center circle all done. All right, step 2 of our roof. We're using the inside again of our largest circle in the red blade. I'm sorry, the inside edge. There we go. The inside edge of our large circle. So we're going to be inside here. And these are for these littler circles. And our red blade with the black. So, sorry, I'm comprehending. And again, I am going to try to squish this on here as best as I can to utilize all the paper I have. And you got to remember the red's going to be closer to the track. So you can't go too far this way because you're going to go off, right? So I'm just going to kind of squeeze it right on the edge of both of those sections there. And we're going to make sure again we're in the track. Looks like we are. Push and turn it. And the smaller ones are always easier for me. And again, I'm going to remove my blade. This one's a little harder because you kind of have to move your circle to check it. And we did it. All right, so now we can move our black. We might be using it again for tickets. And then we're going to get our other color. And here it is yellow. However, I am using, oops, this blue. I'm going to use just a more solid blue fireworks. I was out of the yellow, and that's okay. And for this one, I'm going to check our thing again. So we just did the black using the inside edge of the largest circle again. So all we're using for this is our large circle. We're going to use our green blade. And on here it says using the yellow. We're going to use this blue fireworky sparks paper. And again, I'm just going to kind of shove it in a corner. And the green's going to go further in. So you can go off the edge a little bit, but not too much. So again, line up your track. Hold down your circle really good. And just go around. And it looks like you can kind of tell when that works because it just kind of pops up on its own. All right. And you actually do not need 2 circles because I know on our roof here, we have 2 circles going on, but we're just going to cut it in half. So saves you a little work. Like I said, sometimes these pages look super daunting. And then you actually go to do them and read through the instructions. You're like, oh, that's actually not too bad. So it's just doing them and going through them that can be daunting. So, or looking at them, you could be like, oh, that looks scary. But until you do it, you don't know. And I like to have my base out to kind of see, you know, I might second guess here. I kind of like this side too because it matches. So I like to look at my picture here and see, I might go with this side for the circle. I know it's going to go blue, but I don't know, would that be too loud? I am also going to use this stripe paper. Yeah, I think I'm going to go blue. It's going to be a little loud with that one. All right, so same thing. We're going to go ahead and adhere this on to this littler circle. And we're going to cut it in half. So I am putting quite a bit of adhesive on there just to make sure all my angles are covered. Because once you cut it in half, there might be spots that aren't adhered down anymore. Got a little bit of runoff there. All right. Now, yeah, it says cut in half. That was the very last thing on there. And I didn't see it. I was like, where do we cut it in half? All right, and a little tip. When you go to cut a circle in half on your 12 by 12 paper, or with your 12 by 12 trimmer, sorry, if you nestle your circle right in here, it is in half. So the cool thing about this, you just have to nestle it in there evenly, hold it down, and right there you're in half. So with the bigger circles, that's harder, or if the circle's too small to nestle, you'll have to measure on each side. But it's a little fun tip for you, is that all you have to do is nestle it in there. So if I were to cut this one in half, I would just nestle it in there, and that's in half. You just want to make sure you're even on both sides. So a little fun tip. You don't have to do math that way, which as an English major, I appreciate that. Okay. So here we are. We got our circles all done already. And this big red one, you can cut it in half if you want. I'm just probably going to leave it because we're going to cover it anyway. All right, so we're going to move on to the columns. and these are right here in between. In mine, I was debating this because I'm not going to trim my photos down as small as on here, but I still want them to be small enough that you can see between them and the outside edge. So I'm still going to make columns, but I think they're just going to be more covered up. I think that's the route I'm going to go there. So I'm going to get our trimmer out again. We're going to cut 2 12.5 strips from this diagonal stripes paper. So you're going to take your diagonal stripes. I like to look on the other side to make sure I'm cutting an appropriate way in case I want to use the other side for something else. So we're going to go to our 1/2 inch 12 by 1 or 12 by 1/2. So our 1/2 inch on this side is that very first line that you're going to see on here. So if you're using the CM trimmer, it's the first line on this side of your housing. I like to be pretty precise on this. Alright, and narrow strips tend to be a little more difficult just because they're harder to control because the paper is just on one side. So you just have to do the best you can with that. It helps if you nudge it against something so it doesn't move as much. And it helps to start the opposite end of where it's nudged, so all the friction is pushing it against where it's being stabilized, which is right here. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, just do your best. So, and then we're going to cut both strips at 5, so you have 2 7-inch strips and 2 5-inch strips. So what we're going to do, we're going to take both our strips. I'm going to do this at the same time. So I'm going to put them next to each other, or on top of each other. And you're going to hold them at the 5-inch mark. Right there. You could use scissors too, but it's just convenient to have this little ruler on your trimmer. So you have 2 at 5 and 2 at 7. So there's our columns. Again, super easy. Looks daunting, but super easy. And then we're going to cut 2, yeah, see the 1/8 strips of black are for our outside. And 1/8 is a tough one to cut, I will say. I almost wonder if that's 1/8, but I probably won't do that. So let's see, I gotta keep in mind, I need to cut tickets as well, but I think we'll be okay. So 1/8, this again, you'll have to use your best judgment on, because the trimmer doesn't have a 1/8 mark, obviously. I believe if you're going this way, it's gonna kind of be at, I'm going to compare it here. So 1/8 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's that first mark after the inch mark. So I believe it's going to be this mark right here. Just based on eyeballing. And this again, it can be very it doesn't have to be precise. It's not going to make or break your page. So I would just line it up on your other cutting line over here and hold it as still as you can. Go as slow so it doesn't shift. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I had myself on Do Not Disturb. So there's one of our little teeny tiny ones. And we're going to do it again. I think we need 2, right? Yes, cut 2. And again, put it on your other cutting, dotted cutting, where the number 2 is at the bottom there. Or on your strip, it might be another number. I'm still on my first go of this matte strip, so just your other number there. Slow and hold it tight. And there's our other one. So we're going to get 2 little narrow strips. Alright, looks like we're done with our columns. Look at that. Alright, and then for our window awnings, which is this strip up here, it says use your 12-inch trimmer and the scallop blade to cut the edge of the stars pattern paper. And I actually do have that paper. Right here, I have a little scrap here. Using the straight blade, cut the strip to measure. Okay, so we're going to take our scallop blade. And the coolest thing about this trimmer, I can store all my special little blades on the bottom. And I have the scallop right here. So I can pull that out. I don't have to lose it. And you flip this open, pull my straight blade out, put my scallop in, and I'm ready to cut a really fancy cut. So I'm just going to read this again so I can process it. Scallop, cut the edge of stars pattern paper so the edge of the paper is scalloped and used in a 12-inch trimmer. Okay, I see. You want to measure 1/2 by 12. So they want you to cut kind of a scalloped edge first and then a straight edge. However, I think what I'm going to do, just to save myself a cut, is the strip needs to measure 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to go right to that 1/2 inch line because one side's going to be straight, right? And then the other side's going to be scalloped. I'm going to see if this works. There might be a reason they did it this way. But. And here's our fun scalloped edge. Look at that. Yay! Now we're done with this. So we do have a scalloped edge left on here. Perhaps that's why they said to do it that way. So you had a straight edge left. I don't really care. So it's up to you and your preference there. And one thing I always forget is to trade out my straight edge again. So sometimes I accidentally leave my other one in. So I try to do that every time, like right away. I'm like, okay, straight edge back in. Because one time I've gone to cut and it was decal in there. It's like, oh, I didn't want that to be decal. It needed to be straight. So let's store my little guy back into there. All right, and our next step here, he wants you to use the 45-degree line on your trimmer. Again, this trimmer is amazing because it has everything built in that you need, and cut both ends diagonally. So we want our edge to kind of veer that way. And I'm guessing it has to be almost a full 12. So we're gonna put our corner, let me think about this for a second. No, it has to go the other way actually, because I want it to cut this way. So I'm gonna flip it over, I believe. Yes. Math is not my friend, you guys. You know this if you know me. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over and go on this 45-degree angle. You're gonna line up your top point on here. And with your straight edge, you're gonna just give it a little cut. And you can do this with scissors as well. I do like the fact that this line helps me know where 45 degrees is. And then I think this way we can go, yes, this way you can go this way. So you're gonna flip it over for one and then use the right way for the other, right? Yes. And again, you're gonna put your point right on the cut line, line it up on your 45-degree line. And there we go. There's a lot of people that love this trimmer because of all the tools that are built in. It is, I believe this trimmer is about $50, but people join as an advisor because you get a $50 credit as soon as you join, and then they just turn around and use it on a trimmer. So they're essentially getting a free trimmer along with those whatever join gifts are available at the time. So there's some good ones right now. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we can chat. I'm going to set my trimmer aside here quick while I look at this. So there's our awning. We're just getting all of our pieces here. It's kind of fun. All right, so the mats. Now for the mats, I'm probably not going to do the white ones, but let me read here. Cut 3 mats to measure 3 by 4. So the issue here is I am going to leave my photos generally pretty larger than what is shown here. My columns are going to be way skinnier. So my suggestion is if you want your photos to be this size, go ahead and follow these steps. You're going to cut some black mats and then also some white, but the whites are also kind of photo holders. So it's kind of what they did in place of photos on their page. So that the white part could just be your photo. So I'm going to skip that part for now, and then we'll go back to when I trim my photos down and all that. So next we're gonna, it says to assemble our carnival booth. So what we're gonna do, since I'm not gonna do my photos quite yet, we are gonna take all of our little pieces here and we're gonna build our little booth. Isn't that fun? I love building pages. I think it's a good time. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of lay it out. I like to lay things out before I commit to things. So let's see. Just kind of like that. And mine looks funny right now because my photos are not on here. So this might be the time to work on my photos. I gotta keep in mind we're gonna have those tickets along the bottom as well. So I'm gonna go a little higher. I actually don't have a little flag either. So I'm probably gonna forego that as well. I used it on another page. It's an embellishment, so. this is one of those things I just need to eyeball to know what I want to do. So yes, I am going to trim my photos down just a smidge here. So yes, we are going to do our photos right now. All right. And I don't have a set number in mind. Sometimes I just look at them. I might leave this one full and then trim these down. I don't know. I like to wing the whole photo thing. So I'm going to use my little photo trimmer. I think I'm going to aim for 3.5. But I don't know if that's what I'm actually going to do. We're supposed to trim them up too, I believe, because they're 3x4 white mats. Okay. I don't want to do too low here, so let's just do the inward part first. And again, like whenever you're doing a sketch or something in your photos, you're like, oh, I don't want to trim my photos that small. You can try to work with it too. So just kind of play around, see what works. Oops, there I go, shifting my whole carnival booth. And maybe that's fine for me, like right here. I can't remember to shut my plane. So what I could do is take my little columns, which are going to be shorter, so I might need to trim them up too. I wasn't thinking through that. Huh. And I can put them between as well. Kind of like that, something like that. Because these ones are going to be my outside edge ones. And it's okay if they kind of cover my photos, or I could put my photos on top of them. I'm trying to think if I can trim these up at all. This is going to be the hardest one to trim shorter. But I like to wing it a little bit with my photos. I might cut like a 1/2 inch off. I don't know. Maybe I'll start with this one because I do want them to be even. This is going to be my hardest one to trim. Trim up a little bit of her ears. I'll aim for like 4.5 maybe. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do like a 3.5 by 4.5. This one I didn't really trim in at all, but this one's okay if it stays a little bigger because that's kind of our main shot. And again, we want to do 4.5. I want to keep some of those lanterns in the back though, because it was the teacups. So maybe I'll do 1/2 this way, 1/2 this way. That's kind of how I do. I compromise between the two sides. We have to do 1/2. All right. So my photos are definitely a little different size than pictured, and that is okay. You do what works for your photos, right? Okay. All right, let's see what that does for us. Like I said, I just like to lay things out before I adhere anything down. Just because I like to know how it's going to look before I do anything. Let's see here. I might do this. Oops. I think that could work. I might just put my photos down and put my little columns on top of them because that'll help me know a little better where things are going to go, because I'm not using mats. If you're using mats, you can just put your mats down. I'm being a little more extra with this page, so. All right. And I could also shift it down. So here's what I'm going to do. I am just going to build this right on my page. I'm going to adhere it down because I'm crazy. And move this over. See how far down I can go here. Another beauty thing about these 13 by 13 mats is I can kind of like, before I move anything, be like, okay, this is starts at about the 10 inch, you know, because I'm going to pick it all up, and I'll have to remember where to put it back. So, and we can also line it up with that 6 inch line so we know our big circle is right in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it, and half the circle, oops, is going to get covered up. So 10 inch, 6, And I'm just going to eyeball it. You could get a ruler out and kind of measure it around. I think that's fine though. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Do not disturb. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put these little things. I'm kind of looking at my sheet here to get an idea where they go. They don't go quite all the way to the edge, but pretty close. So again, you're going to overlap them just a smidge onto your bigger circle. And I'm kind of more this way, but that's okay. All right. And then, good gravy, where are all these little pieces coming from? I've had to leave my door open up here, so I'm wondering if my cats are getting up here, and it's just been so cold. I've had to leave my doors open so my cats can, you know, roam anywhere they want now, including my craft room, my sacred craft room. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line my photos right up with the edge of the circles on the edge there, and then do this. I think that's kind of what I'm going to do. When I say building a layout, this is definitely the epitome of building a layout. We're literally building like a carnival booth right now. And we got to keep in mind that little awning is also going to go across the top here, so it's going to hide any gaps that we have. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball and line up. I'm kind of not a precise scrapbooker, and to me that's just part of the art, so it's okay. I don't mind. I do end up moving things now and then, and it's okay. Okay. And then again, I'm just going to kind of put these between. Looks like that'll be just fine. And again, these will be covered wherever it's like hanging off, as long as you don't go too far past that circle. And then down here, we're going to add some tickets, so they'll be covered down here too. So these are kind of the random pictures from Magic Kingdom I took that didn't have like other pictures with it. Like I had one of us on the teacups and one of her drinking like LeFou's brew over here, and one of us in the line for Barnstormer. And I was like, well, I want to make just one page for each of these, so I kind of combined them because they're all in the same land anyway in Magic Kingdom. They're all in Fantasyland / Storybook Circus. It's part of Fantasyland. So I was like, oh, I'll just make a fun page of all of those. So it worked out pretty nice. And again, this will get covered. I just like to see how it looks before. So this one's gonna be a little long. I think I'd set my thing down a little bit further than theirs, which is fine. I can trim off anything. And actually, I might make these 5 as well. I don't really like how far it goes on there, so I'm probably going to trim a little bit here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to hold it up to this and compare. But if you like them going all the way down, that's fine. I don't know if I like that as much. Like I said, you can make a page work to your liking if it's on the blog. You don't have to make it exactly like the blog. The blog is there for guidance, and any sketch is there for guidance, so make it yours, you know, however you want. And this is going to be the most tedious part of this page, is just putting it all together. Okay, one more. I can move over a little bit. That works. All right, and then we're going to add our awning, which I think looks pretty cool. I like my awning. Oopsies. This is why it's good to start on one side, not the middle with strips. And there we go. Our carnival booth is pretty much done. Got got these little shavings on this one that keep coming off. All right, I like where this is going. We do have these little black strips too, and the purpose of these is to kind of like give it some depth on the side. And then I'm thinking they're this long because I was supposed to have a 7-inch strip and I trimmed it down. So what I'm probably gonna do is adhere it down just on the 2 sides. And I need my silicone mat for that. So I am gonna get my repositional because this is a very narrow strip. And I'm gonna kind of, about half of it, I think. Ladybug just fell on me. That scared me a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay. Our house like has these little ladybug things. I know they're not actually ladybugs. They're called something else, like Japanese beetles or whatever. But they have been invading for quite some time, and it's really obnoxious. And I will find them in the most random places, including falling on my head while I'm doing a scrapbook live. But you know, it's entertaining for everybody. So, and then yeah, I was able to just use one of these and cut it in half. So I'm gonna take this one. I'm just gonna do the whole thing and then I'll trim what I don't need. It just gives it a little more depth. And you can do this too between every photo if you're not using the mats like I'm not. But I'm just gonna do it on the outside edge because I think it looks kind of cool. Very tedious, but really cool. And these little imperfections are gonna get covered with tickets anyway, so I'm not too concerned. All right, we are cruising. I don't know what time it is. I can't see the clock. Oh, we got time. Perfect. I was thinking that took forever, and it didn't. All right, so next we've assembled our booth. So we're on step 4. Use your admission ticket border punch, which I am. You can use whatever border punch fits your theme. You can do this for Christmas if you want. That's the cool part about these sketches is I've seen people do all sorts of things with them. Just different themes and stuff. So don't have to do a carnival, you can do whatever. So I'm gonna use my ticket punch to punch out a border from the black. And then we're gonna use 3 tickets out of that to put on our page. I might fill in too a little bit because I don't know how many of these little ticket embellishments I actually have. I didn't really look. But we can figure that out as we go. I'm gonna take this, and I do love this punch. I wasn't gonna get it at first, but I saw how versatile it is for different things, and I've actually used it quite a bit now. They're pretty great for journal boxes too, so I'm digging that. And then obviously fairs and carnivals and Disney and whatever. So I am gonna just do the full border in case I need more than 3. Okay. Which looks like you get 4 full ones at least on there. Should about do it right. Okay, set this somewhere. Clean up my punch poop. That's what I like to call it. Okay, throw that away. Alright, now we got this one out again. Trying to find a place to put my border. There we go. Alright, and now we're going to cut 3 tickets out. So we're just going to cut out 3. Now, if you're using a different border punch because you have a different theme, you can get creative with that too. I'd love to see it. I've seen some pretty good ideas. And I am going to look at my little instructions here to help guide me kind of where to put them. Just going to kind of layer that. I want to hide that corner there a little bit. Looks like they have one kind of right there. And they have another one kind of covering each of the bottoms of our little columns here, which is great because we want to hide that kind of overhang there. And I have my extra one in case I need it, in case I don't have enough embellishments or whatever. Because like I said, I've used a lot of my adventure bark, so I can't remember what I have and don't have right now. So we might use that one still. Just going to kind of adhere these on here. Different angles. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to adhere stickers and kind of embellish between that. I think that's the end of our instructions. So now we get to play and just kind of decorate it up. It says to use foam squares, which I do have some, and I like that idea. So I'm going to pull my foam squares out. I have some partial sheets here that kind of got thrown in my bag, so I'm going to use a few of those. Dig out my embellishments and stickers. Now another cool embellishment I had, it's not part of the adventure park, it's from another carnival-y theme that Creative Memories has, The Magic Awaits, and I really like this border too, so I might pull that one out and see perhaps if that can be used with the tickets. I don't know if it will look good with the tickets, but you don't know until you look at it, right? So there's some fun ones in this one. I've used a lot of these too, obviously. That one's cute too. I don't mind that one either, so we might use it. And this is an older one, so they're on these glue dots that kind of ripped them. CM has done some work on the packaging of these now, and that's much better. But back then, it was glue dots. And it does rip it, but you don't see it anymore. So I might set that out and see if I want to use it. We will see. I think it's cute. So, and it's already foam squared for me. It's got some depth. And then I got stickers here. I like the vacay mode flag too. I might use that one. The one they use is from the embellishments. I know I already used it. Though it says parade on it, but this vacay mode, it's got that vibe. So I might go with that one for my little, in fact, I'm just going to put it on there because I like it. You don't question something that's handed to you, right? So I might tuck it a little bit just so it looks like it's naturally on there. There we go. Isn't that cute? And I do have some of these little sticker tickets. I believe they're also embellishments. So I got my little embellishment tray out here to dump my embellishments in. Sorry, they're not all over my desk. Oops, that one kind of tucked in there. I don't think I'll use it anymore. Alright, so there are some things like making a splash. Obviously that doesn't apply here. They did use this fun little hand, so maybe I'll leave that in my little tray. Best vacation ever! Kind of fun. Yumma's food, treats, beat the crowds, luggage. I did use some of these, so I'll leave those. I like the Wii, that's cute. I might hang on to that one. Little castle. They did use the balloons on here. I don't think those quite fit there for me. Sore feet, happy memories. Yeah, that's a true. Oh, this dream come true is cute. Little bow tie. A little bit warm, and yes, it was some days. Oh, here's some more tickets. I'm gonna leave those out. This was wonderful. That's what they use, so I don't mind that either. Yay! Might be a cute little circle. Never going home. We didn't want to. Got some little fireworks. I use my other bigger fireworks on other pages, so I might leave that one out and see. Leave these out. Okay. I think that's cute. I'm debating this one still, so we'll leave it close. This was wonderful. I don't want too many words. That's the only thing. So I wouldn't use both of those, but maybe. Let's see if we use one or two. More fun. Happiness starts here. I could fill in my ticket gaps, no problem. So I'm going to do that and save my little carnival border for another page because this has a lot going on. I do like this Wii. I think that's hilarious because on the teacups, Mark would just spin us so fast and Lucy and I are like, oh my gosh, stuff. So it was kind of funny. So I might use that. We got our little fireworks. So many fun options here. I do like this one. That's cute. I like this. Can't miss this. She did like the LeFou's brew. I did not like the LeFou's brew. It had like the sour apple foam on it. Normally I like sour things, but that was like really weird. It was too like texturally weird to me, so I didn't care for it, but she liked it. So that could apply here too. Can't miss this. That wind is howling out there. Alright, and I might use my little firework stickers here. And that should be good. And I'm going to use a sticker for my other tickets. And of course we have all these fun stickers too with these little tickets. Those are cute. Oh my goodness, there's so many options. I love this collection just because of all the fun things on it. I love the little monorail sticker. Looking for a good opportunity to use that. So haven't quite gotten that yet, but I think we're gonna go with this. All right. So I'm just gonna stick this one down. Make sure I cover that a little bit. And then I think I'm gonna make the middle one pop. I want the red in the middle though, because I want it to be happiness starts here. All right, and for this one, now if it's a sticker, you can do it on too. This one just doesn't have sticky on it because it's an embellishment. I'm just gonna take some foam squares. And for this one, I'm probably gonna use the bigger ones, just so it doesn't kind of concave on itself. And you just use them like stickers. You stick them on here and peel off the backs and stick it right on there. So now I have a little border that sticks up. Kind of cute. And I'm going to use this we because I think it's hilarious, especially for our memory there. We were both just like, what? Cute. And then we got this one, which probably will require me to use repositional. Means I'm going to want my mat here. And the repositional is cool because it only sticks to this embellishment as long as you're on the silicone mat. You could do it on your regular mat and it just like, if you get some on there, it just scrapes right off like that. So pretty neat stuff. I enjoy this tape runner so much. All right, and this one, since it's blue, I don't really want to put it on blue. So I might just kind of leave it hanging up there a little bit. And then this one, these ones I'll kind of strategically place. There we go. All right, coming together pretty nice here. Don't know if I need much more than this. I don't want to go over the top. There are some really cute stickers. This collection is one of my favorites. These other little tickets could be kind of fun to mix in here, but I don't think I need any more words on my page. There's a lot going on. So I think we're going to be good here. And I think my page is pretty much done. So I could do a little journaling. You could add like a white ticket or something, and journal on it. You could journal, you know, in one of your, like underneath or in one of your circles, depending what you have going on. Or you can just leave it as is if the photos tell the story. So I do like to journal. I'm a firm believer in journaling, but sometimes the pictures just tell the story themselves. So I think this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Thanks for joining me and thanks for being live with me. If you have any questions, definitely reach out and I cannot wait to see what you guys do. So here's a closer look at my page. Yay! Love it. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you have a great day and take care.